This is the Kitchen Sink WP Podcast, episode 440.
I program my own computer.
We have a server crash. 404 error. Page not found. Links aren't working. System is crashing. System is crashing. System is crashing.
Your old HTML website. Barely alive. We have the technology. We have WordPress. A new website. Better than it was before. Better. Stronger. Faster.
Hello, everybody. This is Adam Silver, the host of the Kitchen Sink WP podcast. Thanks for being here. Let's get started. All right, upcoming events. We don't have any. Next week, none. Coming up, though, pretty soon, in the next month or two, a whole bunch more coming. So stay tuned for that. And some other online types of things. So I'll share those as well. If you have something for me to talk about or to share upcoming event-wise, by all means, let me know. I'm more than happy to share. All right, moving on. Segment one in the news. A few things here. SiteCare acquired Maintainn. So Maintainn was founded back in 2012. They do maintenance work type of thing, 24/7 monitoring, etc. It was acquired in 2014 by Web Dev Studios. Now they have sold it and moved over to SiteCare. So congratulations to all those involved there. Also, Blogvault has added team members and roles. Blogvault's a friend of the podcast. I use their service. I recommend it all the time. They keep adding some really great features and functionality. So now there's teams and roles. I'll put a link in the show notes to show you what that can mean for you as far as collaborator, admin, or co-owner. Very useful, in my opinion. So I was pretty happy. I just want to share that as well. I recommend Blogvault. I like them a lot. I think I might have an affiliate link if you really need one. But nonetheless, you know, whether I do or not, highly recommend it. So I use that all the time as well. And lastly, Eric Kuznasik? I'm not sure how to pronounce his name. It's a listener of the podcast. Hey, Eric. He let me know that I was actually kind of wrong last week on the issue about the vulnerability with WP Bakery. It's not WP Bakery plugin itself as a page builder. It's one of the add-ons. So I'll put a link in the show notes about that. He and I both agree that WP Bakery is still, his words, hot garbage, which I love. But nonetheless, I was incorrect. I want to clarify that and put that out there, give him props for letting me know. So thanks, Eric. All right. There you go. If you have any feedback like that, if I'm wrong somewhere, by all means, let me know. I want to be right. I want to be more correct. If that's the right way to say that. I want to be right. Anyway. All right. Moving on. Segment 2, the meat and potatoes of this week's episode. Easy Digital Downloads 3.0 is what we're going to talk about right now because, well, it's been a while since I have spoken about it. I initially discussed the plugin back in 2018, episode 212, and then again, most recently, episode 396, but those were old versions, version 2 point whatever at the time, and version 3 is now out. It came out a few weeks ago, and then I think I mentioned it back then a few weeks ago that I was going to do a course on it, but it got delayed like 4 or 5 years. It's been a while, so yeah. Anyway, with that, I went ahead, I cloned the site of KitchensinkWP, like the main site of this podcast, because I have EDD running there, and that's where I sell my ebook, and I really wanted to see the differences of a live site versus the updated version, the old version. So with that, I went ahead to upgrade the plugin on the staging server. I was running 2.11.7. So before I clicked upgrade, I was curious to see the notes of what's changed, and there is a lot of changes. First up was the important notice, and then the upgrade notice. Important said, and I quote, "This is a major release. You should be tested on your staging environment prior to running on a live site," which I was doing. And the upgraded notice said that this update will ask you to perform database maintenance once installed. Your site should remain functional during this time, but access to historical stored data will be limited until the migration is complete. After those, there were literally dozen new things documented. And actually, I was going to mention a few of those right now real quick. Here, I have a note here. Yes, a couple new things. Downloads now use Block Editor, and they're available in the REST API. There's a new fully featured refund system. I'll talk about that in a minute as well, for reporting, which includes partial and full refunds. Now, also new, refunds can be initiated from within EDD for gateways which support it. Like I said, there's a dozen, if not more than a dozen, of things that are new. Moving on from there, there was also another dozen of improvements that they document, and then working down to fixes and some more technical development notes as well. So I clicked on Update the Staging Server, the plugin there. It went ahead and updated it, but then the plugin was deactivated, which I thought was weird. Anyway, I went to reactivate it, and I did, and I got another note and warning that they need to update the database, which I was expecting. And it said, this is a mandatory update that will migrate all Easy Digital Downloads data to custom database tables. So, which is cool. This upgrade will provide better performance and scalability, which has always been the goal, I suppose. Of course, it warns you again, please make sure you have a backup before starting this upgrade. The upgrade routine will make irreversible changes to the database. You can also, if you're an advanced user, there's a note that you could update via WP CLI. So it's cool. So I began the update, and I got another warning, don't leave this page, and to confirm that I have a copy of the website backed up. They just want to make sure you are really safely doing this properly. And I said continue. My update took about 45 seconds with only the one ebook I'm selling. I'd imagine that if you have more things that you're selling, it might take longer, obviously. Then a warning came up for removing legacy data. It's not reversible, so I went ahead and said, okay, that's fine. It took about 2 minutes, and then I got to notice that legacy data has been successfully removed, and I can now leave that page. So there was a lot of warnings and forewarnings and post warnings prior to doing any updates. I appreciate it. I really do, actually. So with that, we can move on to what was different. As I did this on staging, I still have the old version on the live site. For the comparison, side by side, I noticed right away there are differences in the dashboard, like right on the back end of the dashboard. The CPT, the custom post type, is broken now into 4 sections, mainly by downloads, reports, settings, and extensions, with like a line between those sections. Diving deeper and starting with settings, as I often do, there are differences where certain things can be found now. The top tab example changed from privacy to policies, and they added a styles tab. These are, and by the way, this is going to be like a 30,000 foot view. We're not going into every little setting here. We'll talk about that in a minute, maybe. Also in the new version, the pages for checkout, purchase confirmation, or have failed have been removed from that first section. I'm not sure where they moved. I couldn't find that. I'm thinking maybe, just maybe, they only appear when you install the plugin the first time, but then I'm not sure how you would change those pages are in the future if you want to rename them. I don't know. I thought that was interesting. Over on the renamed tab policies, they now have both privacy policy and a terms and agreements subsections. Export and erase are still there. Moving on from settings over to reporting. Now, this area has been totally 100% overhauled, and it looks great. Way more information here now available. Reports are now available on downloads, refunds, payment gateways, taxes, file downloads, discount codes, and customers. A lot more data there. Just a lot of data, which I thought was pretty cool. There's also a link to a little upsell in the top right corner. It says Sales Earnings iOS app, like to try it out. It's subtle. It's not in your face about an upsell, but I clicked on it. It looks like there's an add-on that you can go and get an iOS app to then see when things are being sold on your device, on your iOS app, on your phone or your watch, I think, as well. Anyway, interesting. Finally, moving over to the downloads area. Moving out to the downloads area. The new version has categories and tags in the sub area of this section. It's nicer and cleaner. Adding a new download looks to be most of the same. I did notice some new word choices. Old word verbiage was download notes. Now there's download instructions. There's also a new refund status option also in this area. Over on the customers tab, the list is the same, but instead of a numbered list of the person, I guess the buyer number, it's now a face, the picture, if that user has a Gravatar set up. So you'll see the photo. Also, 2 additional tabs for email addresses and physical address if you are capturing those. I'm not right now, so I don't have any data there. And lastly, the word discount codes has been shortened to discounts, and they work the same from what I can see. So overall, from a basic UI UX perspective and my experience, much cleaner with a bunch of new options that will make EDD a solid choice. Still in my book, I'm still using it. I still like it. Still have a strong ecosystem of add-ons. So now the question is for you, listener, do I reboot the idea of creating a course for it? Let me know if you're interested. I mean, that's what I think could be interesting here. I could do a course, just how to sell ebooks. It's not that hard, but people like to know how to do things step by step. So I'm interested. Maybe I'll share the syllabus or the outline, or if you have feedback on that, by all means, let me know. But if you have not updated yet to version 3, I recommend it. It looks really good. I have, and that's that this week. So there you go. It took a while. They rewrote it, but it looks great. So there you go. All right, moving on to the Sorry about that. Moving on to the tip and tool of the week, segment 3. This week's tip is the transactional email sender Postmark. It's over at postmarkapp.com. I needed this, and I'm using it and trying to set it up properly for a client site that forms weren't going through because that host in question doesn't have any email. So we're using this to make sure the forms will work. They have a free level and a paid level. I'm using the free level for right now, obviously. And they're a nonprofit. They're trying to save all the money they can. So check it out. Postmark. It looks to be pretty cool. I'm using that with my Cloudways account. That's why I'm using it. So for those clients in question that are over there. All right. That's it over here for this week. Let me wrap it up here. If you have any questions, go ahead, send it in via email, adam@kitchensinkwp.com, or use that speak pipe function on the website. If you want to support the show, you can become a Patreon. There's a link there on the website. And you can also sponsor the show. There's a forum. I would love to have you as a sponsor. Thanks for listening. Now, see you next week. Now go out and go do some awesome things with WordPress. All right? Bye-bye.